Hi Pisces, let's talk about love. We are going to do the same reading that we've been doing for love for the last few weeks. I feel like it's kind of helping with everybody in different areas of their love walk, romantic relationships. The first thing that we're going to do is pull a general energy for those who are single, those who are dating, and those who are in committed relationships. And then we're going to pull an overall theme for all three groups. Then we're going to pull clarifiers, 2 clarifiers for each group. And we'll end with a PS, an overall PS for everybody. So with that said, God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, I thank you so much for our friends born under the sign of Pisces. Happy birthday, by the way. Show us clearly as it relates to romantic love. Those who are single, what is the overall energy that they'll be navigating in the next few weeks? Those who are dating, also overall energy, and those who are in committed relationships. We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Show us clearly what are these energies as it relates to romantic love for Pisces. Okay, those of you who are single, we have emotional loss. Those of you who are dating, we have obstacles and challenges. And for those of you who are in committed relationships, we have mental conflict. Okay, so I want to remind you that we're coming out of a retrograde. It should be ending today, I think, going direct today. And sometimes the effects can last for a couple of weeks after, just depending on what's going on. So if any of these energies feel familiar, feel like, man, I've been here already, this could be why. It could just be revisiting because there's something maybe that needs to be readdressed. Also, it is a collective reading, so it's not going to resonate with every single one of you, even though we break it up in categories. It's still not going to resonate with every single one of you, but if it doesn't resonate with you, check out your moon and rising signs. Right now, we want to know what is the overall theme for all three categories. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, I thank you so much for our friends born under the sign of Pisces as it relates to romantic love with all three categories, those who are single, those who are dating, and those who are in committed relationships. Show us clearly what is the overall theme of this reading. Wow, guys, we have wide open. And I'm going to tell you what, I feel like because of the cards on the table, I'm looking at the cards, I'm looking at the numbers that are associated with the cards, I feel like this energy right here, this wide open energy, seems very appropriate with what's on the table. The number is 42. This is coming from a place of a very firm, solid foundation. You have the 2, which for me is about resilience, being able to change. It's our creativity. It's that divine feminine within us. You see, it's got a solid little base down there. Then it's got this little creative nature going up and hooking over. And that little part right there can bend down and then come back up. So it's got a lot of, the divine feminine has a lot of resilience, flexibility. And I'm not talking about flexibility like don't confuse what I'm saying, because I'm not saying flexibility in that you will, lay down and be a doormat for somebody. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about within yourself, flexibility to make changes that might need to be made. And we have 2 5s up here, which also indicate change. But you add the 4 and the 2 together and the number comes to 6. So this is the number for me of deep self-awareness, right? So let's see what the card actually says. It says wide open. I love this. You are free to express your uniqueness to the world and share in all the bounty of life's endless possibilities. All manner of opportunities are presented to you at this time. The wide open card is a signal that you're able to truly manifest your dreams and that your goals are in sight. Don't remain small and contracted. Instead, expand your horizons beyond what you believe to be your limitations. You have a unique voice that needs to be expressed in the world. The universe is supportive of new ideas and approaches at this time, so speak up and speak out. This card is a sign of the maverick who freely roams the wide open spaces of possibility. Allow for your greater vision to replace old ideas as you dream a grander dream. I love this card. Because again, like I said, you've got 2 5s here. You've got a 5 in the single category. It's about releasing emotions. We've got a 5 in the ones who are dating. It's about new opportunities, new direction, that kind of stuff. And then you've got the 2. Remember, that's that resilient energy of the divine feminine, and it's about the mental conflict. There's a choice that needs to be made. We're going to clarify today with the Dreamer's Journal Tarot by Barbara Moore. This is a new deck that I just recently got, and I think the artwork is phenomenal. So we're going to use that for our clarifiers. God, guides, angels, archangels, and Holy Spirit. I thank you so much for my friends born under the sign of Pisces, and I thank you so much that even in our love lives, we come to you for information, for direction, and for guidance. And even in our love lives, you care about what we care about. Show us clearly what are these energies on the table. Clarify for us. Why are we looking at emotional loss in our group of singles born into the sign of Pisces? And why are we looking at obstacles and challenges as it relates to our Pisces friends who are dating? And what is it about the coupled up groups that we're looking at mental conflict? We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Okay, so if you're single, clarifying the emotional loss, we have the 7 of Swords. Took me a minute. Don't y'all love this artwork? And we have the 2 of Wands. Okay, I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, and then clarifying obstacles and challenges under those who are dating. I'm going to have to put my glasses on, y'all. I'm sorry. We have the Ace of Swords. Love it. And we have the 8 of Pentacles. And then clarifying mental conflict with committed couples, we have the Star. And we have 9 of Cups. Wow. Okay. Those of you who are in committed relationships, you might be getting in your own way with regard to something that's going on, but we'll get to that in a minute. For those of you who are single, we have emotional loss. Again, for me, 5 represents change. 5 represents something needing to change, right? And if you look at this card really well, this is John Holland's Psychic Tarot. It's an oracle deck. The energy is flowing from the heart space right here up and out to the light, right? So I feel like Spirit's saying there are still some things that you're hanging on to emotionally, and we want you to release it to the universe. We want you to release the energy and let it come back to us so that we can do whatever we need to do with that energy. And we're looking at here, right here, the 7 of Swords. So some readers look at this as somebody has deceived you or is not being fully honest with you and all that stuff. And that may have happened to some of you, and now you find yourself single again. But because this card is the main energy, I feel like they're saying release all that. Take the truths, right? The truths of what you've learned in this situation and leave behind those things that don't serve you. I'm not a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or anything like that, but I do, for me personally, I feel like we have to process these emotions. We have to grieve it out, guys. We have to, if you've been hurt like that, it's okay to grieve it out. Don't just shove it down and keep moving forward. Grieve it out and then release it to the universe. Hold on to those things that you learned right there. In other words, if you found out that, for instance, somebody was not being honest with you or being deceptive or cheating or whatever, okay? And now you find yourself single because you decided you walked away because you were better than that. Hold on to the truths and celebrate those truths that worked for you, that you knew you were better than that, you knew you deserved better than that, those types of things, those types of deep truths that moved you into this place of singledom where you are. And leave those things that don't serve you behind you. Now, if they were being deceptive and all that, and then ultimately they ended up dumping you, then look at the truths of that situation, that there's some stuff, some self-doubt, some inferiority and stuff like that might be even a little bit deeper that Spirit's wanting you to release. I feel like, and this is green, which is the color of the heart chakra, right? That chakra energy. I feel like Spirit's ready to cleanse a lot of stuff from that area for you. And then we have the Two of Wands. The Wands for me are about, it's definitely about a choice right here, the two. But the Wands themselves are about purpose, passion, inspiration, creativity. And for me, it's about communication with Spirit. The way we walk our lives out or work our lives out and that kind of stuff. So what I'm seeing here is that it's always your choice, right? You can hang on to stuff as long as you want. Nobody gets punished for staying in a state of mourning for too long, or what somebody else might consider too long. Like your friends might say, oh, well, get over it. The best way to get over somebody is to get under somebody else. I've heard comments like that. And I've even laughed at sometimes whenever people say that a long time ago. Now I'm not so sure, right? For me, I'm not so sure. But so don't let somebody else's idea of how you need to move through this provoke you or make you make a choice before you're ready to make a choice, like to move on. Because Spirit's saying the most important part right now is to move through this energy, to process it, to grieve it out or whatever, and then move through it, period. Okay, if you're dating someone, we've got obstacles and challenges. So somebody may be wanting to go in a new direction, right? They're wanting to introduce something into this relationship that possibly you're not comfortable with, one of the people that you're dating, or if you're dating but not really committed. It's like perhaps they're wanting to introduce actual commitment or something like that, but there's some kind of change coming up that you're not feeling very comfortable with. In fact, you're feeling like possibly you have some red flags, that this could be a deep hole of nothingness if you get into it in that way. So what Spirit is saying is, here they're showing you the Ace of Swords. They're wanting you to stay connected with them for that clarity, right? The swords are about communication. They're about understanding. They're about truths and stuff like that, deep truths. And sometimes they're about slicing things out of our life. But this right here is about your ultimate truth, right? And look at that. There's a crown on top of this sword. So I feel like Spirit's wanting to remind you that in all things, whatever you do in all things, don't be contracted. Don't let yourself be made small in the process of whatever this is. Stay true to your truth and who you are. And then they're showing us the Eight of Pentacles, right? So they're saying, look, Pisces, you've gone through a lot. You have learned some things. Go back and look. Look at the past experiences and the past lessons you've learned in relationships, in these times that you were dating and stuff like that. And be the true student of yourself as the teacher of your own life. Because that, if we can look back at our lives and our experiences like a science project, take notes, take our own wise counsel, right, about the things that we've been through and the things that do show up as our truth based on what we've been through and what we know, then whenever something like this comes up, we know first and foremost, this is the most important answer, to remain true to who we are, no matter what this change is. And sometimes that change, a change that somebody might be trying to encourage you into or something like that. If you're not ready, it might mean letting that go, right? It might be turning around and walking backwards, because this right here is a little bit scary looking. But again, stay true to who you are. And like this said, don't allow yourself to be made small or to contract yourself for somebody else in any situation. Move forward in your truth and your power. Okay, then we have mental conflict, right? This is for committed couples. And remember, because of this, right, I said there's something going on. I feel like possibly that you are getting in your own head about, right? So because you're clarifiers, the first one that came out was this one, the star, okay? So I feel like what it's saying is, you're blessed. This relationship is very, very blessed. And you seem to be in your head. And it's the left side of the head. And it's all red. So I feel like it has a lot to do with, I'm going to go back, our root chakra, those original ideas about who we think we are and how we think we're supposed to show up in the world, and how we find our security and all that other stuff. And something in your foundational beliefs about relationships may not be part of this relationship yet. I feel like Spirit's saying it's a blessed relationship nevertheless. So I'm going to give you an example. In our little culture down here, we still have families that the man goes out and works, the woman stays home, and and she raises the kids and maintains the house. But whenever that man comes home, he's the king of the house, and it's like everybody waits on him, and it's there's no reciprocity within the household. For me, right? For me, that kind of relationship would not work, because I feel like I might not have a job outside the house if I'm that woman. I might not have a job outside the house, but by golly, I am working and I am doing things all day long with the kids, with the dishes, with your laundry, with all that stuff. So at the end of the day, we're still partners. I'm not your servant, right? So I feel like somebody is having some issues with some traditional type ideas about relationships, but Spirit's coming in here saying you guys are blessed as far as a couple together. You are meant for each other, and you can transmute this. You can transmute this by talking it out, by not accusing each other, but allowing each other to have a voice within this relationship. And you've got the 9 of Cups, guys. This is like a foundational wish, like a long time wish, that this was the kind of relationship you wished you could have. But something, and listen, it might not even be something that is like it could be something that's just kind of nagging at you at the back of your head. Say you're the if it's a heterosexual couple, right? Say you're the male energy in this reading, and you're thinking to yourself, golly, Mom used to cook for Dad. Mom used to have Dad's clothes laid out for him in the morning. Mom used to pack Dad's lunch. Mom used to blah 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 blah. But other than that, everything's wonderful in your life, because look at this, you're blessed and you have the wish fulfillment card. So this is a really good relationship, but your mind is starting to pick at you and nag at you, right? And that was just one example. It could be the flip side. Use it. I mean, apply it where it fits is what I'm trying to say. Okay, we're going to do the PS for everybody. But this is something that you just have going on in your mind, and they're asking you to release it, because I feel like they're asking you to release it because of these 2 clarifiers right here. It is just a mind game that you're playing with yourself. Okay, God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit. I thank you so very much for the energies on the board. Show us clearly, what is the PS for our friends born under the sign of Pisces as it relates to, can't take it because I hadn't finished praying. What is the PS for our friends born under the sign of Pisces as it relates to romantic love? We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Show us clearly, what is the PS? Guys, thank y'all so very much. The likes, the shares, the subscribes, the comments. For those of you who ring my bell, all that stuff, y'all just rock my world. And for you guys who are passersby and just stop in to watch for a few minutes, thank you too for spending time in the Spirit Mail community. Okay, PS. Look, Pisces, whether you're dating, single, dating, or in a committed relationship, you guys have this inner strength about you, right? It's this inner resolve as it relates to relationships. They're deeply emotional, right? You're an emotional energy to start off with, but you can use it as part of, like you can use that energy in a very strong way to allow yourself to move forward successfully within your relationship. She's got this lion, right, that she has made friends with. So we all have a shadow side. We all have these little insecurities or these little nagging thoughts that keep us preoccupied sometimes. We all sometimes can hang on to stuff that we don't need to be hanging on to. We all can allow ourselves to bend unnecessarily and make ourselves small for people that, you know, we shouldn't have to make ourselves small for. So these are foundational emotional type issues. So Spirit's saying right here, you have the ability to tame that beast of insecurity inside of you. You have that ability to tame that beast of wanting to allow yourself to make yourself small, to hang on. You know, that there, it's almost like, I'm going to say bully. It's almost like there's a bully back here telling you, well, you know, you better go ahead and do whatever it is they're asking you to do, because if not, you may not have a relationship. Well, this person right here says it's okay, it can go, because I'm not going to make myself small. I'm not going to contract who I am. Stand in your power, basically. Look, and there's you showing up in your own reading, right? It's the most mature energy in the Pisces, in the cups, the category of the cups. It's the most mature energy, and I feel like Spirit's saying, Pisces, you've got this. You know, you understand what it means to love yourself. This stuff right here, this is not. I'm hearing this is not you, but I'm also hearing it's not going to be a lifelong of feeling emotional loss, because it's just something that they're saying that they want you to move through at this time. And this right here, he understands that. He understands the importance of keeping his energy clear and his heart space open so that he can stay in guidance from Spirit. Look, and there's the Ten of Wands. I feel like this is about, it's time to put some stuff down that you've been carrying and that you've likely been carrying for too long. And you know what? I'm not talking about carrying all your life. I'm talking about, you know, the last 3 weeks, the last 10 weeks, the last 5 months, the last year, whatever. I feel like there's something that you've been carrying that it's time for you to put down. Okay, guys, that is your love reading. Thank you so much for stopping in. And until next time, go out and have a super duper day. I love you guys. Bye.